So a few years ago, I built a DIY kit from microphoneparts.com. From start to finish, it took me a little over 2 hours to assemble and solder my S25 condenser microphone. I actually had so much fun that a few months later, I ended up buying another. Now, I use this pair on sources like drums, piano, guitar, upright bass, and voice. I've never been the most handy or technical kind of person, but I've always loved detail-oriented hobbies, so I couldn't pass up an opportunity to help me understand how a microphone works and comes together. I'm kind of a slow learner, so hands-on experience is sometimes the best way to help me understand big concepts. Mic Parts is run by Matthew McGlynn, the same person who runs Recording Hacks and the awesome Roswell Pro Audio. I have their Mini K47 microphone, and it's fantastic. Matthew has a myriad of kits with different capsules and circuits for all types of situations. Most of these were inspired by classic microphones that I just can't afford. The S25 is the entry-level model. I probably paid around $220 for mine, but I think I got it on sale. It's a transformerless condenser microphone with a simple neutral circuit that's designed not to color your audio. The capsule is a medium diaphragm electret, so it's permanently polarized, unlike a C12, K67, or K47 capsule. Your cell phone, for example, has an electric capsule in it. But this one in particular sounds awesome. This Transsound TSB2555 capsule has a nice bottom end, neutral mids, and a really subtle high-end lift. Nothing offensive, just sweet top end. I've yet to find a source that it didn't work on. I decided to test it out on a song that I'd been kicking around for a few years. This is one I just couldn't get right, but I knew I had the bones of something good. I started by tracking my nylon string Ibanez a few inches away from the 12th fret. Like most of my songs, this is played fingerstyle. The S25 captured a nice mid-range and detailed top end. This guitar isn't particularly bassy and didn't need much processing other than compression and EQ to start the arrangement. Because I started with a more gentle nylon string sound, I thought brushes on the drum kit might complement the song nicely. I placed one of my mics about 4 feet directly above the center of the kit, and another one a little over a foot away from the kick drum. With both in the mix, I was able to capture the attack and the body of the snare drum and the thump of the kick drum. Because the ride cymbal didn't capture well with my poor playing, I ended up overdubbing a brass tambourine in the chorus. It helped give the song more energy and some emphasis on beats 2 and 4. The mics performed really well in these percussion instances. They have a 10 dB pad inside the body, but I didn't end up needing to use it. From there, I moved on to piano. I have a Baldwin upright that records beautifully. I placed the mic behind the instrument just a few inches from the soundboard and an acoustic panel. All it took was the soft pedal, sustain pedal, and some arpeggios, and I got exactly what I was looking for. Originally, the song had a simple single-line melody, and later something like a sonic youth spoken word part happening at the same time. It was chaotic, fuzzy, aggressive, and I loved it. However, when I changed the instrumentation to start with an acoustic, something had to change. Eventually, I landed on a counter melody that helped to add some energy and sort of contrast the darker lyrics of the original demo. I liked the concept of backing vocals having a different perspective and pushing back against the song's narrator. The S25 had a really strong showing in this context. I'm usually particular to mid-range focused mics, but here the natural bass and nice top end really complemented my voice in the arrangement. Finding this mic's sweet spot was pretty effortless. The next step in this process was the bass line. A great bass part outlines the chord structure, locks in with the kick drum, pushes the song forward, and doesn't draw too much attention to itself. I tracked the bass with a DI and reamped it into my small GK amp, and mic'd it just a few inches from the speaker's center. In this area, I might have chosen a mic with a different sound profile, but with some EQ and finesse, it actually came out great. The last step in the tracking process was the guitar solo. This C section here was just a simple 1-6-4-5 chord progression, so it wasn't too difficult to come up with something to play. While I recorded my Fender Blues Jr. with the S25, I ended up mangling this sound with some plugins to help it fit into the arrangement, which is absolutely fine. Your goal should always be to serve the song. The initial sound I recorded, as cool as it was, didn't really fit into what I needed in the end. But everything came out great, and I'm glad I dug up this old song and finally finished it.
Some days it comes, it won't let me go. How long it stays, you don't even know. Fill me up, I don't wanna feel not at all. We talk about the things we said, the things we saw. You try to take steps. Tell me what comes next. You search and never find some peace up in your mind. Don't ask when it will come, it's never really done. A chance to let things go, we never really know. You try to take steps. Tell me what comes next. Give up on dreams near and far. Eyes closed and lose all that you are. Plan, hope, and save all just gone. Fears that you just can't move on. You try to take the steps. Tell me what comes next. You search and never find some peace up in your mind. Don't ask when it will come, it's never really done. A chance to let things go, we never really know. You try to take the steps. Tell me what comes next.
As I reflect on this song and using this microphone, I can tell you that I didn't really have to work too hard to get a great sound. While everything had EQ, I didn't have to make any major changes. A natural sounding, flexible microphone works well in so many situations that all you really have to do is focus on getting a great take. And that's something I really want to hold on to here. A great recording starts with a great song, and recording gear should never get in the way. PARTS has a really cool mission, and I think it helps to demystify what's actually happening inside of a microphone. If you like building things, can hold a soldering iron, and don't want to spend thousands on an AKG or Neumann, these kits are really cool. I'd love to build another in the future. Don't make excuses, make music.